Hi everyone, welcome back to Something New Reviews, and today we're going to be looking at the Pandora 36S brought to you by Ploylab. This is an all-in-one Pandora box. So we'll have a look on the outside. As you can see, totally portable. On the back you have the usual ports. So starting from the left you have the DC in, which is a 12 volt. You then have the HDMI out, you have VGA out. You have the 3.5mm audio, volumes rocker, settings button, and your two USB, which you can plug additional controllers into. So as you can see, it's totally portable. Actually looks like a small black briefcase. So on the front you have your small lock and clasp, and you also have your game stick. You can screw this into the front when you're taking it about for travelling so that you don't lose it, and it just screws out and then screws back in. So when you open up the case, you are greeted with the Pandora box, and as you can see, it's the usual style. Some great art design on this as well. Absolutely love it. I have left the protective film on. The stick you just screw in to the machine as you would do with any other Pandora box, and then you're ready to go. Quality of the stick is fairly decent. It's not too bad at all. What I would say is don't expect Sanwa quality with the buttons or the stick. These are aftermarket. You get your 8 configuration buttons. So your A, B, C, D, E and F, and your right 1 and right 2. And then along the top you have your LED on and off, your DC 12 volt on and off, your start, your pause and play button, and the pause button. Again, the quality of the stick is fairly decent for an aftermarket stick, but it's not, don't expect Sanwa. The screen is a 14-inch HD, it's 720p, and the image quality is actually really good. The build quality on the 36S is extremely good. The only problem that I did find was with the red LED that you can see now. That is on all of the time. And unfortunately that does eat away at the charge in the battery. When you switch it on, you can see in the power display it is on 4 bars, because this is totally portable. You charge it up, you're not supposed to use it plugged into the mains. However, after 8 days it does deplete the battery even if you don't use it. I have spoken to Ploylab about this and they are going to make some changes to it. It's just a shame that this is on the earlier machine and models, but hopefully in the future this will be changed. You do get a nice boot up screen showing that it's the 36S. This is actually an upgraded 28S Pro. That's the card that they're using in this. And once it's booted up you get the usual home screen with the familiar categories. So you have the all, category, recent and search, and you can go through them. So it's using a 12-core processor, 4-core CPU and an 8-core GPU. The CPU is a ARM Cortex A9 quad-core, 2 gig, and the GPU is a Mali 450 MP8 with 1 gig of RAM and 2 gig of flash memory. This particular version that Ploylab sent me has the built-in Wi-Fi, so you can go into the games market, and it comes with around about 10,000 games already installed. But as you know, with the games market you can download up to about another 20,000 games overall. It's run all of the major consoles such as your PSP, your Dreamcast, your N64, Mega Drive, Game Boy Advanced and so on. What I would say is unfortunately, very similar to other Pandora boxes, this will not run major titles on the likes of PSP such as God of War. I did find that some of the games on the N64 and the Dreamcast did struggle a little bit, which you'll see later on in the video. But to be fair with you, overall I'm really happy with it. The majority of the other games run extremely well. In fact, one of the games, which I'll show you in a bit, which struggled on the last Pandora clamshell that I reviewed a while ago. It really struggled on that, and it actually works really well on this particular machine. So yeah, you know, don't write it off, but you know, it's not going to play all of your major 3D games, but you'll still have lots and lots of fun with this. I'm actually really impressed with how well it worked. So as you can see with this Ridge Racer, you know, it's very fluid, no slowdown or anything. What I did find as well was, whilst you can use the stick with games such as this, it's probably best to use the included controller. It just feels better in the hand, and the control is a little bit more precise. So yeah, overall a fantastic machine. Unfortunately, screen quality, you can't really see it on this video. I struggled to get a decent image, but the actual image quality when you're playing is really good. It's only 720p, so it is, you know, the bottom end of HD, but image quality was nice and sharp, colours were excellent. You do get a little bit of distortion, it looks like a little bit of interference on screen at times, but that certainly doesn't impact on the image quality when you're playing in game. It's mainly in the menus, but I'm not too sure how this is shown on the video that I've recorded, but seriously, the image quality really is quite good on this. So another nice feature that the 36S has is you can have the LEDs on, and these change colour and light up the system. Just bear in mind, because this is totally portable, this will have a drain on the battery, and as you can see in the top left, it is flickering a little bit because it's using that additional power. So what I'll do is I'll go through some of the systems, different systems, and I'll play some games, so it'll give you an idea of what this can or can't handle. Yeah, so sit back, I'll do some gameplay, and then I'll come back to you in a little while. So as you can see, also you can go into the search and you can search for any particular title, and it'll bring them up on the left hand side and the different systems that that title is under. And one of my favourite games of all time is Gauntlet, and I always have to try it on a Pandora box or any retro gaming handheld that I have, just to see how well it works, and it works extremely well on the 36S. Another thing is if you hit the pause button, it'll bring up the in-game menu, and you can also save where you are, load a previous game slot, and so on. There's only certain platforms that allow you to do this, but it is handy if you want to play a game and then leave and come back to it later on. So as I mentioned earlier, some of the more intense games, especially at the N64 and Dreamcast, some of them do struggle. Super Mario 64 being one of them. You'll see from this video, whilst it is totally playable, it does have some artifacts and breakup of what's happening on the screen. So I'll sit back and let you see this one in action. You can make up your own mind whether it's for you or not. And as you can see, it's not a game breaker. Yes, there's a few issues with the breakup and artifacts on the screen, but the game is still perfectly playable. It would have been nice had the 36S come with 2 gig of RAM, that may have helped with the issues that you've seen, particularly with this game. But you know, like I say, it's still totally playable. It just depends if those issues will put people off. So this is the game I mentioned earlier, Under Defeat, on the Dreamcast. It's a helicopter shoot 'em up, and it's probably one of my most favourite games on the Dreamcast. And I know in the past, every time I've received a new retro handheld, gaming handheld, or I've tried one of the previous Pandora boxes, this game always seems to struggle on it, but it actually works really, really well on this. I was very surprised and really happy with it. So if you hit the menu button on the back of the machine, it takes you into the main system menu, and you have the usual Pandora settings there. So you have your key settings, coin settings. It's on free play at the moment. Image optimization, so you can have it HD, scan lines, or turn it off. I know a lot of people tend to disable this, and as well as the other settings, you also have the actual game settings itself, so you can change how many lives, how difficult it is, and so on. But more importantly for me is the game market. Now, whilst I don't condone of getting games for free, this is included within the 36S and within a lot of Pandora boxes. And anybody who's familiar with the Pandora boxes will be straight at home with this feature. Basically, you can go into it and you can download any amount of games for many of the platforms that are the most popular ones. So the likes of arcade, as you can see, I mean, this has 2,511 games available that you can download within the arcade. Then you have your PSP. This has 676 games that you can download. Yes, God of War is there, but it's unplayable on this particular machine. It just doesn't work very well. Then you have your Famicom, Super Famicom, 3,304 games to choose from. Then you have your Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, 3,665 games to choose from. Bearing in mind, some of these games will already be on the system. So Wonder Swan, there was no games on that one. Then you have your Mega Drive, 1,097 games. Dreamcast, 194 games within here. And then your PC Engine, and there's only 7. So yeah, that's it, guys. So that is the 36S. Overall, I'm really happy with it. It's a fantastic gaming device to use, very portable. I love the idea how it's rechargeable, and it really is totally portable once you've charged it up. It's just a shame it has that issue with the LED where it is going to drain the battery over 8 days. But other than that, once Ploy Labs sort that issue out, this is going to be a fantastic machine to own. And yeah, so thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and as usual, thank you to Ploy Lab for providing it. Bye.